Hi, my name is Connor Hoarty, and this is my micro coaching session for my youth and sports coaching class. Today we'll be demonstrating the ring keep away game for an ice hockey team. In the ring keep away game, players pair up 1-versus-1 with a player on offense and a player on defense. The offensive player will attempt to keep the puck away from the defensive player while using his body to create time and space. The defensive player will attempt to take the puck away from the offensive player. This drill is designed for a U10 team, so we'll be using two modifications today. First, instead of a puck, we'll be using a ring, which makes it easier for the players to control the puck. And second, we're going to have the players turn their stick over to use the butt end of the stick, that way making it easier to control the puck, and it allows them to focus on the drill itself instead of controlling the puck. Here is an example setup for the 1v1 keep away drill. In this example, you can see the coaches and players have lined up to create a small area for the two competing players to compete in. These players will stay in a small area and compete 1-versus-1 in the game of keep away for 30-second intervals. After 30 seconds, the players will rest and two new players will come in to start the drill. After each group of players has had their turn, the players will switch and the player that was on defense will now go on offense. Throughout this drill, important tips to keep in mind are to use the body to create time and space, extend your hands away from your body to allow yourself to always be in a hockey position, and to continually move your feet. Staying in one position will make it much easier for the defenseman to take away the puck and to lift your stick and eventually get possession of the puck. Drill is a small area game drill which allows the players to develop their skills in a small area before opening it up to a more open ice surface where those skills that they developed will be able to translate better when the player has more time and space. So for this drill, the player on offense will start with the butt end of the stick in the roll in a hockey position with their knees bent, and the player on defense will be attempting to get the puck from them using stick lifts or pushing the puck away from them. Here we have an example of the 1v1 keep away game from USA Hockey. There are three things to notice about the offensive player. First, he has his hands separated away from his body so that he is in the position to make a hockey play. Second, his knees are bent in a hockey position. And third, his feet are moving. It is important to continually move your feet while doing this drill to create time and space and move away from the defenseman. Next, we will take a look at the defensive player. His shoulders are square to the offensive player, allowing him to keep the player in front of him, and his knees are bent as well, allowing him to move easily as the offensive player moves with the puck. So we're going to go here for 30-second increments, and then we'll stop and we'll restart. So go. Pause. So notice how the player with the puck is in a hockey position with their knees bent, using his body to keep the defensive player away from the puck and away from his stick. In addition, the offensive player has his hands extended away from his body, which does two things. It keeps the puck and the stick away from the defenseman's puck and stick, and at the same time, it allows him to free up his hands to make a hockey play, like a pass or a shot in case of a defenseman coming to attack him. So next we're gonna have the players switch. The player that was on defense will now be on offense and vice versa. And we're gonna go for another 30 seconds, keeping in mind that we're staying in a small area within the blue lines. Ready, go. Keep those knees bent. Use your body to keep them away from you. Good. Stay inside the blue.
All right, and stop.
So now for the progression of this drill, we're going to do two things. We're going to introduce a hockey puck, or for this example, a floor hockey ball, and we're going to have the players turn their sticks back over to use the blade of the stick. This is going to do two things. First, it's going to introduce the idea of stick handling to the players, so that they're going to actually have to work to keep the puck away from the opposing player. And it's also going to cause them to have to move a little bit more, because you can't stand still using the ring and using the butt end, which is much easier to control than the puck. Here we have the floor hockey ball introduced as the first progression. The offensive player is going to stand once again in a hockey position, using the blade of the stick this time to control the puck, while the defensive player will once again try to get the puck from him. Ready, go. Once again, staying knees bent, continually moving, controlling the puck, staying within the small area. Continually moving, using his body to protect the puck and keeping his arms extended from the body so he's in the position to make a hockey play, such as a pass or a shot.
And stop.
All right, so after 30 seconds, the players switch. Defensive player goes on offense and vice versa. And so now we're going to go for another 30-second iteration. Ready, go. Once again, the offensive player is using his body and continually moving his feet to keep the defensive player at bay and not allow them to get their stick on the stick or on their puck. Using their body to create separation between the offensive player. Knees bent in a hockey position. Good use of the body there. Continually keeping the feet moving. And time.
The 1v1 keep-away game is a great drill for all ages to learn a number of hockey skills and implement them into their game. The drill teaches players to establish proper body positioning while protecting the puck. It also allows players to practice keeping their feet moving while keeping their hands extended from the body, ready to make a hockey play. This drill was modified to be used in a U10 team setting. Some of the modification used were turning the stick over to only using the butt end. This allows younger players to focus on their body positioning and keeping the defensive player away from the puck, rather than focusing too heavily on stick handling. In addition, a ring was used for the same reason. It makes it easier to control the ring so the player can focus on the key points of the drill rather than focusing too heavily on puck protection. For this age group, it is important to stress a few things. First is to have fun. This drill adds a bit of competitiveness for the younger groups without taking away from the purpose of the drill. Competition is the basis of sport, and instilling a competitive spirit early is important to the game of hockey. Next, you want to stress the important learning aspects of the drill, which are keeping the knees bent, feet moving, body in between the puck and the defenseman, and keeping the hands extended from the body.